Hello children, how are you all? I hope you are fine and safe, right? Welcome back to the session. I am Dakshayani, handling biology from Bardhasan Metric Higher Secondary School, Arakonam. Children, today we are going to discuss chapter 2 in 11th standard zoology, Kingdom Animalia, right? In Kingdom Animalia, we have discussed about the levels of organization and the nature of germ layers, right? Based on their levels of organization, we can classify them as cellular, organ system, tissues, right? And next, based on their germ layers, we classified them into diploblastic and triploblastic. And now, in this session, we are going to discuss about the other bases of classification. In that, the first one is about the symmetry. What is a symmetry, children? Symmetry means a plane of division, right, which divides the organisms into two equal halves. That is, if we cut an organisms, if we divide an organisms, the either side, the two sides must possess the similar organs, right? And based on the symmetry, we can classify the organisms into three. One is asymmetrical. Asymmetrical means absence of symmetry. We cannot divide the organism. Example, sponges. Next one is radial symmetry. What do you mean by radial? What is the radius in a circle, children? If this is a circle, this is a radius, and we can say this also a radius. So in some organisms like the sponges, cnidarians, the organs are arranged like in the form of a circle around the body. So from any plane, from any radius, we can cut the organisms into similar parts. So radial symmetry we can see in jellyfish, sea anemones and starfish, right? And next, bilateral symmetry. We can divide the organisms only into two planes. For example, if we cut our body into two only in this direction, we can get the equal number of parts on the both the sides. So bilateral symmetry. Example, insects also, only if we cut in this direction, you can cut the equal number of parts. If you cut like this, no, there is no equal number of parts on the both sides. So bilateral symmetry, it has only one plane of division. Okay, so and all the vertebrates possess the bilateral symmetry. Fishes, reptiles, amphibians and birds and we human beings all possesses the, and animals, we possess the bilateral symmetry. So let us study deeply and study about the types of symmetry. So first one is asymmetrical, right? Asymmetrical means absence of symmetry. A means absent and symmetry means division, right? We cannot divide the organisms into equal parts. See, this is sponges, children. We cannot divide this into equal parts. So asymmetrical. And here you can see they lack a definite body plan, right? They do not have the exact body plan. The organs are arranged in a different manner, and here we can say it is irregular shape, right? So here any plane, from any plane we cannot divide the organisms into equal parts. Hence we say this as a asymmetrical. Asymmetrical example, sponges, and another example for asymmetrical is mollusk, that is snail, right? So what are the two examples of asymmetrical? Sponges, Porifera, belongs to phylum Porifera, and snail, that is the phylum Mollusca. So next, asymmetrical, and now we are going to classify the organism based on their symmetry. Yes, we know radial and bilateral. Again, the radial is divided into two. Apart from radial, there are two more divisions. Pentamerous radial symmetry. Penta means 5, right? We can organisms divide into 5 equal parts. That is pentamerous radial symmetry and biradial symmetry. Biradial symmetry and bilateral symmetry. This biradial symmetry is a combination of what? Radial plus bilateral. Radial and bilateral together form a biradial symmetry. So let us study in detail about this. So first one is radial symmetry. Yes, it has organs arranged in a form of a circle throughout around the body, and here any plane, from any plane, that is, just look at this picture, from this plane or this plane or this plane, we can divide the organisms into equal parts. So it is said to be radial symmetry. It has a top and bottom. It has a top and bottom, but it does not have, top means male bhagam, right? So top and bottom is present, but no dorsal and ventral. What do you mean dorsal? Male pakam. Ventral, ul pakam, right? Dorsal, ventral, and does not have right and the left sides. So since it has only two sides, top and bottom, we can divide from any plane, right? So radial symmetry, and here it is exhibited in cnidarians such as sea anemone and hydra. Everything shows the radial symmetry. Next one is a biradial symmetry. I told you biradial symmetry, it is a combination of radial and bilateral symmetry. Here you can see, here this animal possesses two, that is two pairs of symmetrical sides. One is radial and another one is bilateral. One is radial and another one is bilateral. We can divide the organisms here in this way as well as this way. We can divide the organisms into two planes. Next one, it is seen in the organisms such as Ctenophora. What are the phylums, what are the examples of Ctenophora, children? Comb jellies, right? Comb jellies comes under the Ctenophora. And then here you can see, here there are two axes. One is a longitudinal and another one is a latitudinal, that is sagittal axis. Example, comb jelly fish. So we discussed about the radial. Next one is about the biradial, right? Next one is a pentamerous radial symmetry. Penta means 5, right? It is seen in the triploblastic. What is triploblastic? 3 germ layers. Ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm is present, and here it has 5 planes of symmetry, that is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. 5 planes of symmetry. Example, starfish. And the last symmetry is the bilateral symmetry. Here only one plane of division is possible, and it is also seen in the triploblastic animal. Triploblastic animals, here the animals can be divided into two halves, right? That is human beings. Only from one plane we can divide the organisms into two. And the main advantage of this mode of symmetry is seeking food and locating the mates and escaping from the predators. To escape from the predators and for inviting a mate, they use such type of symmetry. Right? Very advantageous, right? Next one is, they have all sides. They have anterior and posterior, they have left and right, and they have dorsal and ventral. All sides are present in such type of organisms, right? So this is about the bilateral symmetry. So far we discussed about the symmetry, children. One is about the radial symmetry, next one biradial symmetry, pentamerous radial symmetry and the bilateral symmetry. Next one we are going to discuss about the coelom. What is a coelom? Coelom is nothing, body cavity. Body cavity, we call it as a coelom, right? So the fluid filled main body cavity, we call it as a coelom. So based on the coelom also we can classify the organisms. Coelom, you can see, for example, if you take us, the body wall is there, intestine is there, in between there is some spaces, right? This we call it as a body cavity. So based on the coelom we can classify the organisms into 3. Based on presence or absence of the coelom, we can classify the organisms into 3. We can see what are they. So coelom, that is, it is a presence of body cavity, and here you can see where they possess the body cavity, between the body wall and the alimentary canal. Between the alimentary canal means digestive system and the body wall. The cavity which is present between them, we call it as a coelom. So this is the alimentary canal and this is the body wall, and in between them we possess the body cavity. This is a coelom, right? So based on the coelom we can classify them into three: acoelomate, pseudocoelomate and coelomate. If there is no body cavity, example flatworm, Platyhelminthes does not have any body cavity. Such organisms we say it as a coelomate, right? They do not have any body cavity in between. And here pseudocoelomate means here the mesoderm is scattered into pouches. The false cavity is present between the outer and the inner layer. Pseudo means false. What is the meaning of pseudo? Pseudo means false, and pseudocoelom we can presently see in Aschelminthes. Aschelminthes, roundworms. Roundworms we can see the pseudocoelom, and coelomate, here the animals with the true body cavity. U means true. We can classify, we can say them as eucoelomate also. U means true. U means true, or starting from annelids, from earthworm to last phylum Chordata, all possesses the coelom, right? Body cavity. So what are the three things? Right, Arvind, answer my question. What are the three classifications based on coelom? Yes, very good. Acoelomate, pseudocoelomate and eucoelomate, right? So now let us see the difference between them. So here coelom, based on the coelom and pseudocoelom, what is the difference? Here coelom is a true body cavity, right? Here it is a true coelom is present between the ectoderm and the endoderm. We say this as a true coelom. Here pseudocoelom means here between the mesoderm and the endoderm. Actually the true layer must present between the ectoderm and the endoderm, but here it is present between the mesoderm and the endoderm. So hence it is called as a false coelom, and the organisms with a true coelom we call it as eucoelomate, and the organisms with the false coelom we call it as pseudocoelomates, right? And here it is completely lined with peritoneum. Peritoneum is the outermost covering of the alimentary canal, but here it is partially lined with peritoneum, and here it is splitted, it is formed by the splitting of the mesoderm, and here the pseudocoelom is developed from the blastocele of the embryo. From the embryonic development itself, some pouches are formed. The such form the pseudocoelom. So this is the main difference between true coelom and the false coelom. And based on this true coelom, we can classify the organisms into two. One is schizocoelomate and another one is enterocoelomate, right? Schizocoelomate and enterocoelomate. And here, what is schizocoelomate, children? Here, the body cavity is formed by the splitting of mesoderm. But in the enterocoelomate, the body cavity is formed from the mesodermal pouches of the archenteron. Right, here it is formed from the mesoderm, but here it is formed from the mesodermal pouches of the archenteron. So schizocoelomate and enterocoelomate. Example for schizocoelomate is annelids, arthropods and mollusks. Archenteron is echinoderms, hemichordates and chordates. These are all the examples of what? Yes, schizocoelomate and enterocoelomate. So with this, the session comes to an end, children. We have discussed about the symmetry. Next we discussed about the coelom, right? So how the organisms are classified based on symmetry? Radial, biradial and bilateral. Very good. Based on coelom, acoelomate, pseudocoelomate and eucoelomate. And based on true coelom, it is classified into two: schizocoelomate and the enterocoelomate. So children, go through the topics well, read the study material and work on the assessment to know how far you understood the topic. Thank you, children. Have a nice day.